Today, we are answering one of the most important questions facing every farmer on the planet right now. What is climate change, and what is it doing to your farm? How has it changed the way you plant, grow, and harvest over the years? Let us start from the beginning. The Earth is surrounded by a thin layer of air called the atmosphere. This atmosphere does something remarkable. It lets sunlight in, and it traps just enough heat to keep the planet warm. Think of it like the walls of a greenhouse. The sun shines through the glass. Warmth builds up inside, and the plants grow. For millions of years, this system worked perfectly. The planet stayed at the right temperature. Seasons came and went on schedule. Farmers planted, crops grew, and harvests came in. But something has changed, and it's being felt by everybody. Over the last 200 years, human activity has been pumping large amounts of gases into the atmosphere. These gases come from burning firewood, charcoal, petrol, diesel, and coal. They come from factories, vehicles, and even from burning farm waste. The most important of these gases is called carbon dioxide. When carbon dioxide builds up in the atmosphere, it acts like an extra layer of insulation around the planet. More heat gets trapped, less heat escapes into space, and slowly, steadily, the Earth gets warmer. Scientists call this the greenhouse effect. And the long-term result of the greenhouse effect is what we call climate change. Now here is what makes climate change different from ordinary weather. Weather is what happens outside your window today. Climate is the pattern of weather your region experiences over many decades. When we say the climate is changing, we mean the patterns that farmers have depended on for generations are no longer reliable. The rains are shifting. The dry seasons are getting longer. The hot periods are getting more extreme. And the consequences for agriculture are serious. Let us walk through exactly what is happening. The first effect is rising temperatures. The global average temperature has already risen by approximately 1.1 degrees since the 1800s. That may sound small, but in agricultural terms, it is enormous. Every crop has a range of temperatures within which it can grow, flower, and produce grain properly. When temperatures go above that range, the plant begins to struggle. What does this look like? The plant flowers too early before it is ready. The pollen dries out and pollination fails. The grain does not fill properly. The roots struggle to absorb water even when water is present. And the overall yield drops. Research shows that for every 1 degree rise in average temperature, wheat yields fall by around 6%, rice yields fall by around 3 to 4%, and maize yields fall by around 7%. These are not small numbers. These are the crops that feed the world. The second effect is changes in rainfall patterns. Climate change does not simply reduce rainfall everywhere. What it does is make rainfall unpredictable and extreme. Some regions receive much heavier rainfall than before, but concentrated into shorter, more intense bursts. Other regions experience longer dry periods between rains. In many places, both things happen in the same year. Floods in one month and drought the next, because crops need water at specific stages of their growth. Too little water during flowering causes the crop to fail. Too much water around the roots suffocates the plant. And when intense rainfall hits dry, hard soil, the water does not soak in. It runs off the surface, taking the topsoil with it. Topsoil is the most fertile layer of soil on your farm. Once it washes away, it is extremely difficult to replace. The third effect is soil degradation. Healthy soil is not just dirt. It is a living world full of tiny organisms. These organisms break down organic matter, release nutrients, improve soil structure, and help roots absorb water. When temperatures rise and moisture levels become unpredictable, these organisms are disrupted. The soil structure breaks down. The soil becomes less able to hold water, less able to supply nutrients, and less productive over time. At the same time, increased flooding causes erosion, stripping away the layer that took decades to build, and prolonged drought causes the soil surface to harden, making it even harder for future rainfall to penetrate. The fourth effect is the spread of pests and diseases. Warmer temperatures are expanding the range of many crop pests and diseases into areas where they previously could not survive. Insects reproduce faster in warmer conditions. Fungal diseases thrive in the combination of warmth and humidity that comes after unpredictable rainfall. Farmers are increasingly encountering pests and diseases that did not exist in their region a generation ago. It means that farming practices that worked reliably for your parents and grandparents may no longer produce the same results. The planting calendar is shifting, the water availability is changing, the soil is under pressure, and new threats are emerging that require new knowledge. But here is the important truth. Farmers have always adapted. Agriculture itself is the story of human beings learning to work with their environment. Climate change is a new and serious challenge, but the response to it is built on the same foundation: observation, knowledge, and the willingness to try new approaches. So the first adaptation is choosing the right crops. Plant breeders have developed new varieties of maize, rice, wheat, sorghum, and other crops that are specifically designed to tolerate higher temperatures, require less water, and resist common diseases. The second adaptation is managing water wisely. Techniques like rainwater harvesting, drip irrigation, and mulching dramatically reduce how much water your crops need and help the soil hold moisture between rains. Mulching alone can reduce soil moisture loss by up to 50%. The third adaptation is taking care of your soil. Composting, cover cropping, and reducing unnecessary digging help rebuild and maintain the health of your soil. Healthy soil holds more water, resists erosion, and supports higher yields even under stress. The fourth adaptation is growing a variety of crops. Rather than depending on a single crop, growing a mix spreads your risk. If one crop struggles in a particular season, others still produce. Growing 2 or more crops in the same field at the same time has been shown to improve both resilience and overall productivity. The fifth adaptation is planting trees alongside your crops. Trees cool the soil and reduce moisture loss. Their roots hold soil in place and reduce erosion. Certain trees improve soil fertility, and trees provide an additional source of income and food, which increases the overall resilience of the farm. Climate change is the defining agricultural challenge of our time. Understanding it clearly is the first step toward responding to it effectively. The global temperature is rising because of human activity. That rising temperature is disrupting rainfall, degrading soil, stressing crops, and spreading pests and diseases. But the solutions exist. The knowledge is available. And the farmers who access that knowledge and adapt their practices are the ones who will continue to produce strong harvests in the decades ahead.